Wow. Look at you guys. Everyone having fun? Yeah? Well, goodness gracious. It's better than a bunch of squares. Oh, my goodness.
Still a bunch of squares.
Oh, just a little bit, Grant. Not too bad, though. You guys having fun yet? Wow. Am I going to make like an opening statement, or are you guys just going to ask me questions? I think my opening statement is I'm just happy to see you guys. Oh, my goodness. Tight end U? Wow. Yeah, tight end U was wonderful. It went really, really well. Nashville, Tennessee. We had 49 NFL tight ends come in. It was awesome. We were blessed with some great sponsors that were able to pay for the whole thing. So basically, guys just had to pay for their flight in, and then hotel, food, accommodations, everything else was taken care of. We got guys great goodie bags, but really the best part of it was I got 49 tight ends under the same roof, and we got to listen to guys like Travis Kelce present about how he looks into his routes and how he reads defenders on certain routes. Greg Olson on that 10-yard out that him and Cam Newton ran for 8 years in Carolina. Like he talked about that and how he reads defenders on it, his releases. Darren Waller got to talk about his mindset. I got a 17-year vet, Mercedes Lewis, who got to talk about just how he's made it so long in the league, because 17 years is a long time, and I think that's what most guys are aspiring for. And I got to get up there and talk about run blocking and a little bit of yak attack, and that was really fun for me as well. But just to get those guys all under the same roof and just listen to how they attack football or what their mindsets are, it's a very incredible thing, because you can learn so much in a room with your coaches and the guys that you play with every single day, but being able to listen to stories and like I said, the mindsets of all these guys in all these different rooms from where they come from and what makes them is very impressive, and it lets you look at the game in a different way. I definitely look at Darren Waller in a different way. I mean, that dude's a monster, and he's going to have a fantastic year. But just listening to him talk about how he presents himself every single day it was really fun to listen to that. And it's awesome to get in a room and you got to not compare yourself, but you got to see where you're at amongst the other guys. And and there's plenty of guys in there that are like year 5 and under that all learn about like routines from older guys and vets. Like, what do you do for your body? Like, we spent like 45 minutes just talking about routines, body maintenance, and stuff like that, because honestly, most guys have no clue. And, it's still something that we're figuring out. And you guys range in there from Kyle Pitts, who's a rookie this year, to Luke Stocker, who's in year 10 and has 70 career catches, but he's played 10 years, and that's an amazing fact. So yeah, it was overall a fantastic event. Got some good work in. Got to party a little bit, and just got to be a tight end.
Did all 5 guys in your room attend?
Oh, I made them all attend. Josh couldn't. Like I said, we kind of had to turn guys away towards the end, and so I had to kind of be selective towards the end. We had a limited amount of rooms at the hotel and stuff like that, and so I had to limit rookies. I think Kyle was the only rookie that we had, but hopefully next year we can expand it. We already have brands that are hitting us up asking if they can participate next year, and hopefully it can be like a open to all NFL tight ends event, and so we can hopefully have like 90 to 100 guys there is my goal for next year.
Was there a theme that you heard from the other 3 guys, your teammates, of what they got out of it?
I think we did some work on the field, and that was fun. I got to see guys move, catch the ball, run around a little bit. But the most beneficial stuff was just sitting in the room and hearing guys talk talk about how they read stuff. And it was fun. Like Greg and Olson and Kelce did a little tandem duo on attacking the second level, which was very interesting. And Charlie loved that. Anytime that he can, guys can hear things from other tight ends, and it's they're not just listening to me talk or just my tight end coach talk. They learn a lot more, and so it was just like I said. I think it benefited everybody greatly, and guys were able to take stuff from everybody. And I know Sherman said it, I think last year or the year before, is that you can learn something from anybody any day of the week. You just got to listen, and so that's what I tried to do the entire weekend, was just talk to as many guys as I could and hear what they have to say.
Typically, teams in the NFL are either looking for their quarterback, or if they're not, they feel good about their quarterback and they're competing for a title. You guys are sort of in that odd situation where you're maybe doing both. How does that impact your view of the season and just what the goals are?
The competition at quarterback? It doesn't really change anything. The goal is to win the Super Bowl. And I know that John and Kyle are going to put whoever they think is best at the helm. And I know that Jimmy's a hell of a quarterback, and I've said that for the last 3 years, and I've defended Jimmy, and everyone always questions all of his attributes and how good of a football player he is, which still confuses me because I still think he's a hell of a football player, and I'm excited to see what Trey does out there. So camp's a great time for competition. It's a great time to see guys come out of their shells and really push to get better every single day. And I think, like everybody in this room, I'm excited to see some competition out there. Whether it's quarterbacks, offensive line, and D-line, tight ends. We're going to have a lot of guys out there, competing for playing time.
Paul just said that he thought Jimmy maybe had some of his best OTAs since Kyle's been here. I guess both have been here.
Yeah.
Do players, did you see that? I mean, does that make a difference when you see a quarterback maybe with a different kind of energy out there?
I'm pretty sure I said it before Kyle, but he can take credit for it. That's totally fine. Yeah, I mean, I think ever since Jimmy's been here, I think he's played at a very high level for us, especially practice, like the way he conducts himself on a daily basis. But yeah, I mean, he was slinging the ball throughout OTAs. I know you guys weren't there for very many of them, but he was playing at a very high level. And our one's offense looked really good and it was very efficient. We were clean. That guy he has full control over the huddle, and I know he has a whole team that believes in him. So, when you have those things going for you, you just got to go out there and play ball.
But Jalen Hurd has been a receiver exclusively to this point, but there was talk when he was drafted that might turn into sort of a quasi receiver tight end. I'm wondering whether he's ever asked you any questions about tight end, and when you look at him, whether you see, okay, this is a guy that I can maybe mold into a tight end later on in his career.
I mean, Jalen's a freak of nature. I mean, I think we all know that. I don't know who was that you guys talking about how he's going to move to tight end? He's like I said, he's a freak. He can do about whatever he wants to do. I mean, he's 6'4.5", 6'5", and he's a monster. So, I mean, Jalen just needs he just needs to play football. That's all he needs to do. And I think everything after that will come from for him. And like I said, he's a hell of an athlete. You get the ball in his hands. You guys saw in a couple preseason games, he looks good. He's ferocious. He attacks people. And I mean, I'm just excited to watch him go out there and be able to be with the guys again. Because the one thing that's just really sucks about injuries is you get isolated. Especially as a rookie, you're trying to make a name for yourself, and all of a sudden you're gone for like 2 years. And I know it's hard for him. And I know the great thing about the Niners is we have a great culture that has tried to help him as best he could. Just to try to get him back into playing shape. And it's being hurt. It's hard on the mental side of it too. It's not fun to not play football, and I experienced that last year. It's it's not great, but we have a good team around us to help us stay positive. And I think Jalen's going to be just fine. He's going to get out there, he's going to catch the ball, he's going to look really good, and if he wants to play tight end, we'll definitely make space for him because he can do about whatever you want on the football field.
Spending some time with Travis Kelce, he was a guy who was kind of in a similar spot to you guys back in 2017 when they drafted Mahomes. Did you guys talk about that at all, just in terms of what your role is in the locker room and when there is, QB competition or whatever? Oh,
kind of. I mean, I've gained it was actually my first time really getting to hang out with Travis. He came out to the place, got to golf a little bit, just kind of hear how his mindset off the football field, which is really exciting. And I've been a huge fan of Travis Kelce, ever since I was in college and he was playing, and I've always watched how he plays the game, and he's done it at an incredibly high level his entire career. And one of the best things Travis has ever said to me was just, I'm a very positive person. I have a lot of energy. He goes, just be yourself every single day, and people will follow you, and people try to match that intensity, match that positivity, and it will definitely help your team out in the long run. And just be yourself every single day.
What specific things did you do during the offseason? What did you?
Specific things? Well, let's see. You're always trying to learn new things, try to get better, because if you just keep doing the same thing, you're going to get the same results. And so every year I'm just trying to be a better football player, a better person. So whether that was, I did a whole bunch of new things like rehab and recovery-wise, invested in a bunch of stuff. And whether that was, more foot workouts, more foot routines, just trying everything I can to keep those feet, ankles healthy. Just a whole bunch of lower body stuff. My workouts I changed them up a little bit, very intense. I feel really good about, the work that we put in this offseason and down at my barn. And, you can never, run enough routes. You can never, put yourself in difficult situations. So whether it's like conditioning and then running routes and stuff like that, just to make it hard on yourself. And I'll just overall just take things, whether it was, like I said, there's some routes that I, worked on this offseason, just put extra emphasis on them. And it's nice too. I got a guy like C.J. Beathard that lives in Nashville that can throw me the ball, and he has a decent idea of what our offense is. So just being with him and being with other tight ends across the league has been very beneficial to me this offseason.
George, Kyle just talked about, again, they're very interested in trying to trade for Stafford and John Watson at some point. And obviously, when that didn't work out, they say, okay, well, this Trey Lance option. I mean, I imagine in some ways it can't make Jimmy Garoppolo feel wonderful. Have you noticed like a different, clearly the plan is he's not going to be probably here next year. Have you noticed like a different edge, a different mentality about him, because this is a somewhat unusual position?
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there. I mean, it has to be difficult. But you guys got to talk to Jimmy tomorrow, so you can ask him that question. But no, Jimmy's looked. One thing I've always loved about Jimmy is very consistent. But like I said, his OTAs, he looked a little bit like he had a little bit of a little bit of fire in him. And I think he's always had that, but he's just a little bit more intense. And I really appreciate out of him. And I'm fully expecting Jimmy to come out of the gates firing this camp. And I'm excited to play with him. I'm excited to line up next to him, and I'm excited to be back in the huddle with him because he's going to play at a very high level.
You and Fred were in similar positions in terms of contract status and things over the last year. How excited were you, first of all, to see Fred get his deal done? And is it meaningful for you? I know it was for you personally to kind of move the ball forward for tight ends, but to see him do it also at a position that maybe doesn't get as much recognition as this one.
Yeah, I mean, incredibly excited for Fred. Ever since he's been in the building, he's been a positive influence on this entire team. He's been a leader since, really day one when he was a rookie, even though he wasn't really trying to be. He was just being himself. He's a hell of a football player. You guys have seen that. You can watch highlight after highlight of just plays that he makes. Just he leads our defense. He leads the intensity of practice. He's the exact same guy every single day. I mean, you see him. He screams every single day. He's the intensity. He's all that energy. And, I'm just happy that we could reward a guy like that in our locker room. He deserves to be rewarded. He deserves every penny. I think he probably deserves more. And but I want all my guys to get paid, and I'm just happy that we've built a foundation of good guys with good high character that can also play football at a high level. And I think that says a lot about our organization, says a lot about the people in charge. And when you can reward the people that mean a lot to the organization, and guys that, whether it was a 3rd round draft pick, 5th round draft pick, doesn't really matter. They take care of their own, and it's really good to see, and it makes you want to play for that organization.
Alan John said that Nick Bosa looks great in person.
I saw that tweet already. It's crazy.
How does he look to you? You stayed in touch with him. How excited are you to see him on the field again?
Oh, I love Nicky. He's incredible. He looks great. I told him cut blocks are live first day he's back, so he better be ready for those. Kyle didn't like that joke, but it is what it is, and he's going to be just fine. He's going to play at a very high level. I have zero worries about Nick Bosa. He's an incredible football player that trains at a very, very high level. He works out with Joey Bosa every single day, who I'm pretty sure is also a pretty decent football player, who I get to block for a week while we practice against the Chargers in a couple weeks, and I'm excited about that competition. And I mean, Nick's going to be Nick Bosa, and I think we saw. I mean, I think he got Defensive Rookie of the Year, and I've got no worries about what he's going to do this year, and I just leave it to the imagination. But he's going to be a hell of a football player again.
George, what was the best non-football offseason activity?
The best non-football? Oh my goodness. Let's see. Oh, July 4th weekend, I got a little trip with my wife and got to go up to New York and see the use checks, which was a blast. That was really fun. Got to go up there. Didn't realize that Kyle's wife is very, very, I didn't realize how Italian her and her family are, so that was an experience for me. I've never experienced that. I got to go to, that same week, got to go to the Outer Banks, go to one of my buddy's weddings. Got to surf a little bit, and then ended up back in Iowa for my wife's best friend's wedding, and that was a wonderful wedding. And got to get back to Iowa for a little bit, got to update a new tattoo, and just had a wonderful break. And but football's been on my mind the whole time, so I kind of brought football with me everywhere I went. Well, thank you guys. It's lovely to see you all.
Hey, faithful, subscribe to our YouTube channel.